Good evening, my people. You're welcome to today's political discussion. Now, it is bad news for Nigerian politicians. I repeat, it is bad news for Nigerian politicians, especially those in northern Nigeria and those that are allegedly and reportedly sponsoring insecurity because they are on a watch list. I repeat, they are on a watch list. Every of their conversation, their phone calls, their communication, their activities is being watched by the United States. Look at this report. The U.S. Secretary of State has effectively put Nigeria back on U.S. watch list. After they have designated Nigeria as a country of particular concern, now they have put Nigeria on a watch list. Politicians in Nigeria would not have their freedom anymore. Every of their private conversation will be monitored by the United States. Okay, let's look at this. Every official Nigerian government dealing is under the radar right now. Every single politically exposed person, that is politician in Nigeria, past and present, is being watched in real time. All their transactions, social media posts, past and present, all their affiliations, all their connections, and those of their family members are now under the radar. Every individual that ever had anything to do with terrorism or crimes, their entire life in both real life and in the media is under the radar right now. Every official Nigerian government dealing is under the radar right now, from top to bottom. Terrorist communications and connections and affiliations all under the radar. Nigerian authorities will essentially be living their lives in absolute nakedness because nothing can be hidden anymore. Keep it in mind that our communications and financial transactions in Nigeria are mostly controlled out of Washington from the back end. This is what makes being watched by the US incredibly problematic. Bandits are running away from Nigeria into Cameroon. Muslim leaders are running away because it is a big problem for those that have a hand in the insecurity. Being put on under a watch list is like just exposing your daily life, your naked life out in the public. So this is the fate of our politician. No wonder Akpabio said, "Who am I to challenge the president, Donald Trump?" No wonder these politicians, they know. So since the Nigerian government have refused to tackle insecurity, let the US show them what to do and help them. Mind you, Facebook, YouTube, WhatsApp, Instagram, TikTok is being owned by the West. Mind you, during your elections, the BVN and IREV, most of the technologies are being done by the West. When they say they switch off IREV and up and down, it is not in Nigeria that one is possible. There is an international affiliation to all those kind of things. There's a back end. If you have worked in any communications company, you know that there's a back end where they control everything. For instance, if I'm posting this video, I want to change the headline. I will go to my back end. So everything you're doing, your SWIFT, your transactions is naked in the eyes of the West because now them get the technology. So as it stands today, Shegumi and co, they are shaking. That is why when they asked Shegumi, he said, we should not allow the United States interfere. Anytime they interfere, it's always problem. They leave the place devastated. What are you afraid of? You see, like I said, the Nigerian government has an option to name and shame and prosecute the killers, the terrorism sponsors, those that are responsible for terrorism in Nigeria, which they know. Saudi Arabia gave us a list. Saudi Arabia gave us a list. Niger government wanted to give us a list of terrorism sponsors. Then the Borno state governor had to go and have a secret meeting with Niger government because the government wanted to release the sponsors of terrorism in northern Nigeria. So it is good that our politicians are naked. Let's see what the US will do with the information they are going to get with the investigation. let's see the outcome, because myself, I don't trust US because they get their own interest. It depends on what interest they are pursuing. They told us that the president, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, had FBI files. He did this and this. He has some information. If they expose it, he's going to do this. Till today, US never released the files of Tinubu because we know that they have their own personal interests. I don't really even trust them in most of the things they do. But however, let us have a clue of those people that are sponsoring terrorism in Nigeria. To be watchlisted means that as an individual, entity, or organization, you are appearing on 24-hour monitoring. They are monitoring you. Whether you are a government body, financial authority, or global institution, they are monitoring you 24/7. Let's look at reaction. Somebody says, for years, Nigeria's political elite have operated with impunity, funding violence, laundering money, and shielding terrorism under the guise of governance. Being placed on a US watch list means that every politician, their families, and their networks are now under real-time scrutiny. Financially, digitally, diplomatically, it is not interference, it is accountability. You see, the government had a lot of time. APC had a lot of time. These are leaders have a lot of time to deal with insecurity, but they refused because of whatever interests. The reasons are best known to them. That will not concern me. So now it is time for them to be accountable. Let the West expose their nakedness to us. Like I told you, there are some information that if it gets to Nigerians, you know that Nigerians are not gullible. There's some information that if Nigerians know, the elite, your politicians are in trouble. Your beloved politician that you have been supporting because of tribalism. If you get information, just look at the COVID-19. Are you not shocked that with the hunger in Nigeria, people did not go out to work? Some people donated palliatives, to these politicians. The politicians had to go and hoard and they hit the palliatives. They refused giving you the palliatives that was given to them free to share for you. Some of them hid it. Even some of the palliatives were even getting spoiled. These are your leaders that wanted you to die in hunger. They agreed. So there are some things that if you know about this politician that you carry for head, you go swear for your life, say you can never support any politician blindly. Whether it's the person is from you'll be surprised that the ones who know from your tribe even get you for mine than the ones with your tribe. So let the US begin and be transparent and let them not be playing hide and seek, using their information, want to try to take our resources, pressure the politicians, pressure the government in power, so that they can have access to our resources, instead of them to tell the people, these are your sponsors of terrorism, and go after them. You know that is the game they play, global politics. It is possible now, if they get information on Gumi and maybe some past governors of the North, they will use that information to pressure them, to give them whatever they want, however their interests are. I don't really know the particular interests US have in Nigeria today. I don't know. Because as we speak, they may be in Nigeria and we may not know. They have been in Nigeria since, but this one, where they plan, say they want to invade Nigeria, they may have stationed themselves in Nigeria, trying to look for plans. We don't know. Okay? So, Washington's surveillance system can trace offshore accounts, shell companies, crypto transactions, and terror-linked communications with forensic precision. Forensic precision. Accuracy. Yes, they hit the nail on the head. It is not guesswork. They can trace you. How did they get Osama bin Laden? The fallout will be severe. Assets will be freezed, visa ban, and restricted global access for corrupt officials. But for ordinary Nigerians, it could mark the beginning of a long-awaited transparency and justice. This is not an attack on Nigeria. It is a global X-ray on a system that has thrived on deceit and its days are finally numbered. This one, I stand with the American government on this. Expose these politicians and their shady dealings. Some of us, we like to know. We have been doing research, trying to get information. Let's know what are the shady dealings of these politicians, because we don't know who is who. One of the reasons I supported a P2B was because I believe if P2B go there, it will expose them. I believe so. That's my belief. Let's know the real people these politicians are. Let's move on. Somebody else says, now this is the kind of accountability revival Nigeria has needed for decades. If the US has finally turned on the floodlights, then let every hidden deal, terror sponsor, and money launderer be exposed. No more darkness, no more cover-ups. Let the cleansing begin. Nigerians really want US to expose their politicians because their politicians have deceived them for a very long time. Used power to suppress information. You see, the other time that the government said, we gave out 300 billion to millions of households. They now told the government, oh yeah, publish the names now. The government started invoking Privacy Act. The Privacy Act. Some people don't want you to have their information. We cannot put out their information in public. That is the only way they can use as excuse to use and loot money. It is possible to loot money that way. They know that they can tell you that we give them 1 trillion, we gave 85 million households 1 trillion naira. And they are waiting for you to ask them, give us the information. They will not use that excuse and say, we cannot give information because of Privacy Act. To protect the privacy of these people. Yes, they know. They know that is one thing, excuse they have already put in their cooler to use to defend themselves, to steal money. Somebody says, if this is true, then it is about time Nigeria's corrupt and complicit politicians that have operated in darkness be exposed. Please let them come for them fast. Nigerians are tired. We have suffered enough under these wicked leaders and their endless lies. It's time for real action, not talk. Let the world see truth and let justice begin. Somebody says, I hope this will not take long time for them to discover, expose, and punish the real criminals, terrorists, and money launderers in Nigeria. It's unfortunate that the government of the day, there's no trust in INEC, there's no trust in police, there's no trust in our security apparatus, agencies, there's no trust in the judiciary, there's no trust in the executive, there's no trust in the legislature. It is appalling. The politicians are there, they are saying there's no trust, and the politicians are not even willing to win your trust as a Nigerian, because there is no Nigeria. There's no one Nigeria. There are no patriotic politicians in today's politics, in Nigeria's politics. There are no patriotic politicians. Politicians don't like a prosperous one Nigeria. That's why you continue to see Nigeria go down with their excuse and lies and deceit. Somebody says, okay, I like this statement from this man. The US is too engaged globally for trifles. They do not come open with their facts. The US, if they have this information, they may play politics with the information. Their actions depend on two things. One, their interest and the will of their government. Two, the response of recalcitrants on the other hand. And it seems both are at play in the Nigerian case. So I have information on Tinubu, or let's say on the vice president. And I let them know that I have information on them. I pressure them to use them to give me access to whatever I want in Nigeria. It's just like blackmail. The US can use it to blackmail our politicians. And our politicians, they don't care to sell Nigeria to the West so far that they are in power. Look at what the APC did 2014. They went to the United States to report Jonathan over the insecurity. They went to report Jonathan. They sabotaged the government of Jonathan. They never mind whether they are destroying the country. Some people even invited their brothers to come and destabilize the country. That we are having problems till today. One of them don't die. We not see him again. After he put everybody for Allah. He live old age. Young people like us, look at what we are facing. Because we allowed old people to put our future in danger. Okay. I like this statement, this particular statement. Hope all this won't end like CIA, Chicago University, FBI promises regarding Tulumbu doings. They all failed Nigerians in 2023. They should be swift in their actions now. No dramas. No dramas. Okay, oh. Now, the UAE at a point in time named 6 Nigerians and 47 others as terrorism sponsors. What did the Nigerian government do with it? What did the Buhari government do with it? Of course, a Fulani government would not want to, before before Buhari designated Boko Haram as a terrorist organization, they pressured Buhari. Before Buhari gazette him, they pressured Buhari. The pressure was so much. That means if they didn't pressure him, he would not even have designated Boko Haram as a terrorist organization. But he was quick to designate the IPOB as a terrorist organization. You can see the Buhari government, the Fulani government. You can see their leaders. You can see what they represent. So the UAE named a Muslim country, a full-blown Muslim country. Nigeria is not full-blown. We have Christians and Muslims. We don't even know the number, the ratio, whether it's 50-50 or 47-50, whatever it is. But a full-blown Muslim country put out names of terrorism sponsors. Most of these terror groups are Islamic-based. But it's a country like Nigeria that is not full-blown Islamic. We could not utilize the list they gave to us. We could not use it effectively to fight insecurity. It tells you about the agenda of the Fulani, what it stands for. It tells you most Fulani are still in the system. They are holding positions, and they will still stand for that thing. Not, I read something. A particular soldier was complaining that even at battlefront, they are Christians. They have their Muslim counterparts in the army. If the Christians are killing the bandits, some of the Muslim officers will be angry that they should not kill the bandits. They should capture them and hand them to the authorities, which they know. The authorities, which have their own branch of the Fulani, will have to want to rehabilitate them in the guise of rehabilitation so that they can be free and release them back into the society. That's what they do. Imagine your soldiers. People are firing, they fire live ammunition at you. They fire live ammunition at you. But you should not kill them because your fellow soldiers are saying, we should not kill them, let's capture them. How do you capture somebody with AK-47 that is throwing missile and throwing everything at you? So the soldiers, Muslim soldiers, are angry that the Christian soldiers are killing the Boko Haram. You can see the mentality. You can see the kind of people we share the country with. You can see why people want US to come in. How they have infiltrated the army to the extent that the enemy, you don't want the enemy to be killed. People that have killed people have destabilized the country. We have spent trillions of naira because of insecurity, because of the Fulani menace. We have spent trillions of naira. Our economy has gone into recession because of these people. But yet, as a soldier, because of your affiliation, as Fulani or Muslim or whatever it is, you don't want them to be sent back to God. But a Muslim country, a full Muslim country, will not allow a Gumi enter their country because of some of the investigation they have made. But the Gumi is in Nigeria advising the Nigerian government to have peace with Boko Haram, and the Nigerian government will do nothing to him, telling us that we should not mind US and everything. Some of them are even threatening the United States. If they come into Nigeria, they will be killed. The soldiers will be killed. There are graves waiting for them. Some of them are even saying it, making such statement. I know why they are making such statement is to sabotage the government of Bola Ahmed Tinubu. They are trying to put fire so that if anything happens, it will affect Tinubu. It will affect them. They will put up for Tinubu's head. I know some of them are having that intention, but it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate. Somebody says, could it be the reason that some of the terrorists are fleeing the country? Some of them are even agitated. They are shaking. Some of them are they cannot hold it. They never expected this kind of thing. Even both southern and northern politicians, though, not all politicians. Yes, you can understand why the Senate president, like, is saying that how will I challenge Trump? You can understand? Okay. Oh. Nigeria's sovereignty was soiled when in let me not read this one. This one is very, very sensitive. Somebody says, I guess they are looking for new evidence. If not, the US authorities have everything about the Nigerian politicians, but let them extend the eagle eyes to the religious leaders and celebrities. They are the politicians' money moves. So with all this being said, let's wait and watch what will happen in the coming few months. Let's wait and watch what will happen. Because we understand of a sure, we understand that if the US can come clean with the information they have on these politicians, my brother, there will be revolution. Even the top man, the top guy, if they can come clean with some of the revelations, the top man would not be exempted. The top guy will not be exempted. And it will be easier for them to bring Nigeria, win Nigeria in this propaganda war with this particular information. Number one, if you are going to send money and your money the transfer will get to somebody in Maiduguri, somebody in Aba, it is Western technology. Your social media, they can, you think you delete anything, they delete anything, put up what was being, never delete them. They have a way of recovering that thing you have deleted because it is back end. You yourself, most of your activities is being monitored. If they really want to focus and fixate themselves on you, so far you have devices around you, they can actually monitor you. They can pick prompts. That is why Nigeria is a country. We over the years, with our resources, we should be investing in technology so that we can stand out and not be used as puppet. If US want to invade Nigeria, they don't need to enter physically. They need to use their technology to run you down. That is why when I see some Northerners making mouth, I just say these people, they don't understand anything. They think that just by sitting there, they drink tuwo, shinkafi, they drink tuwo. Most of your ammunitions, you go beg United States, you go beg the West, you go beg China, make them supply weapons to fight Boko Haram. But you cannot be self-sufficient when we talk about weapon production. You cannot. Your engineers cannot. They will be bragging, but do it now. If you do. If you do. See Jonathan, as he was begging US. It tells you a lot. So it is a good news. We support that. Let them put all of them on that watch list. And let us know the kind of politicians. Maybe now the politicians now they will calm down. Everybody go quiet, go respect himself. May God help Nigerians.